Hello everyone, Canon here, and I'm finally getting back to recording after taking quite a bit of time since I have fully gotten all of my computer upgrades. So this time, for the month of February, this CannonChat, I'm going to be playing World of Warplanes once again. And I actually have not played World of Warplanes since probably around Christmas time, or that last event video that I did. I don't completely remember, but because of those events there were significantly more players playing, of course, for the holidays, so and my playstyle or just my general enjoyment of the game is more when there are less players typically playing at the tiers that I'm playing at, so I just decided to just do other things until it calmed down. So I think I am going to just jump into the I-215, which is probably not really a good plane to start off playing the game cold on, but I'll give it a shot anyway. It's actually typically an aircraft that I don't find to be too bad if I am against other players, because of that long range. Depending on things, I can surprise people and whatnot. So with that out of the way, so my computer upgrades, I have gotten a total of a 3090, 2 SSDs that are 4 terabytes, and also a 1000 watt power supply to sustain that 3090. So I think for sound I'm going to tone this down just a bit, and that should be good without actually muting it, hopefully. So all of that cost me quite a bit, especially the video card, and the SSDs cost quite a bit. So yes, I do in fact have a what was I gonna say? I was looking at the team list, and of course there is a platoon of 2 people on, which is not really surprising. World of Warplanes is doing kind of this this event for commanders, so of course I kind of figured that would happen as well, that there would be people playing because of that. You can get some special commanders. Hey, I'm actually doing quite bad at this. So let's see if I can actually snipe this guy over here. Well, I'm hitting him. Yeah, this aircraft was definitely not really a good one to start off with. But I'm actually not doing terribly, but our team overall is doing terribly because of that platoon over there, so that's not surprising in the slightest. So, because Digital is playing an 1101, which is basically the all-round meta plane right now, as well as a HG3 is not too bad either. Okay. So yeah, all of these computer upgrades that I got did cost me quite a bit of money. So there's that. Overall, the 3090 I definitely think was worth it, because I was using a 1080 video card, which in these days is kind of aging a bit, so there definitely is that. So yeah, this guy is just gonna kill me, so I'll go after his buddy here, see if I can get some hits. Oh, he's not actually going after me? What is going on? That is honestly really shocking. He just let me live there. Maybe they don't want to ruffle stomp me too badly. Extends the game for a little bit. That's a tactic that you can use if you're dominating. Just let the enemy team get a little bit of ground so you don't win too quickly and get the air supremacy. Okay, there we go, finally. So I'm gonna go after these ground attackers. Overall, yeah, like I said, the 3090, I definitely think it was worth it. I got a really good price for that, especially considering the shortage of video cards right now. But the SSDs, on the other hand, are kind of questionable, and the reason why I say that is because for the price that I paid for them, I got like maybe a 20% better load times. It obviously depends on the game. Like, some games are definitely a bit faster, but most of the time they weren't. So I think I have a theory that if the game connects to the internet, then then it depends on your internet connection more than where the game is reading the data from. So and yeah, I knew that I was probably gonna get killed there, so 9,000 points, that's kind of surprising considering that I don't really feel like I've been doing super amazing here. And also, to put that into perspective, I paid over $2,000 for the 3090, and I paid about 2/3 of that for the SSDs. So, I mean, yeah, I am gaining 4 terabytes worth of space in comparison to my hard drives that I am essentially doubling the amount of space that I had. So, I mean, there's that, but at the same time, though, I thought they would have made a lot more of a difference than they have been. Yeah, if I was in like my key 162.3 that I need to specialize, I would have done much better, I think, overall here. Or at the very least, I would have been able to go against that platoon, but it's a platoon, so... Which basically means... that they're going to be working together, and therefore you can't really focus on one person, because if you dogfight with one person, then the other person is going to get in the way of that. So I think next game I'll just do a lower tier if people are just doing the platoon thing. And I don't even know, the F2H must be the other player on my team then. So surprisingly decent, but I wasn't expecting a win there in the slightest. Like, in all seriousness though, if you have two specialized people in a platoon against two players that are not specialized and are not in a platoon, I think you're doing it wrong in World of Warplanes. Like, just putting that out there. And I only got 1,600 points towards the specialization mission. Specialization for especially multi-roles is really annoying. It takes forever. Like, I could play like the XP72, I guess, or something. Or the TU2. Yeah, that's kind of close. So overall, I think I would say that I am satisfied with these computer upgrades, and hopefully that'll last me for a while. The 3090 has allowed me to play a lot of games that I previously weren't able to play on max settings and with mixed frame rates, to be able to do max graphics as well as a smooth 60 frames per second for the most part. So that has definitely been quite enjoyable. Unfortunately though, I don't really have any like super new games. I think the like newest game that I have on PC is like maybe Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which was made in like 2018, I think. And I haven't even played that game at all, so I'm not entirely sure like how it will perform with newer games and with ray tracing. And I also have the Key 102. I guess I could try. You know what? Let's do some bombing. I don't really want to do tier 10s. Like that's kind of the thing. Whenever they do an event that encourages more people to play, you see more platoons in specialized planes like that. And I don't care for that, so moving on to stuff regarding the channel. So, because I have all of those things fully done now, I can start doing Alien Isolation pretty much whenever I want. But I think I'm going to shoot for Monday, because there's a few things that I do need to get done. I need to schedule like a dentist appointment, for an example, as well as like an eye exam and stuff, because I haven't done any of those for a while, and I want to get those scheduled for sure by the end of the weekend. And there's a few things over the weekend that my parents will probably want me to help out with. So hopefully all of that will get done by the time Monday rolls around, and that is kind of what I'm shooting for Alien Isolation, to start that. Besides that, I have purchased Minecraft for Windows 10, which is called the Bedrock Edition. So it is slightly different than the standard version of Minecraft. So I'm pretty sure I have stated that I did want to do Minecraft at some point. There's only 2 players, okay. Interesting. I thought I would get more than that at tier 7. The most common version of Minecraft is the Java edition, and the Java edition as well as the Bedrock edition, like, they have different user interfaces, and they also have like a few odds and ends of features that are unique to themselves. So for an example, on the Bedrock edition, you can place blocks in front of yourself without actually crouching and kind of doing and looking at the very edge of blocks. You don't need to do that on the Bedrock edition at all. as well as some other odds and ends of features, but I don't remember exactly what they were. It's probably a terrible drop, but I'll take it. Yeah, I don't think I actually destroyed that. Oh well. Hello, Mr. Heavy. Got his engine. And hopefully I can do another bomb drop and take this site here. Because I don't think I finished off that one site. There we go. Very nice. So with that, I'm actually thinking about potentially doing Minecraft after Alien Isolation if I don't come up with something else. Primarily because the Portal games that I was going to cover, as well as like maybe Elder Scrolls, have been played by people that I watch. So I kind of wanted that to be more of something that that I don't really have too many memories of. So it's going to be like a semi-blind thing rather than other stuff, if that makes any sense. And Minecraft I have never played before, and I've actually been wanting to try it out to see if I have found more appreciation for it since I have played it before. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Because the last time that I played Minecraft was a long time ago, and I just didn't really care for sandbox games pretty much at all, so I didn't really have that much creativity back then, if that makes any sense. Or at least creativity in that sense, anyway. So it's kind of interesting that a fighter is over here, but okay. Alright, let's see if I can get something else. Just a little bit. Let's see if I can get rid of it with my guns. This is going to be tight. Ah, come on, come on, come on. There we go. See if I can speed over to the airfield over here. Okay, that F7F I think is the player too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of as of right now. Unless I come up with something else. Oh yeah, I guess there's Half-Life 2 Episode 2. I keep forgetting that I didn't actually do that just yet. So maybe I'll do Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and then Minecraft, because there's a new update coming, major update in Minecraft that is coming that kind of changes everything when it comes to Minecraft. It's called the Caves and Cliffs update, and I was interested in trying out the game just after that is implemented. So we'll see how that goes. This game I'm actually doing quite a bit, 240 capture points. Da 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 da. Yeah, I do like bombers that you can affect every single zone on the map instead of not being able to, like on mining plants and stuff. If you're in a fighter, is kind of irritating. So you do have to deal with heavies. Da 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 dee, da da da. There we go. And that, unless you do tab first, I guess. 3000 XP. I'm not really getting that much credits because I no longer have a premium account since I haven't been playing. If you play World of Warplanes consistently, you can actually sustain your premium count if you play a certain amount every day, like getting the medals. If I can load that. So yeah, like each of the epic achievements, if you can get those, you get 1 token. So if you get like a majority of these every day, you can sustain your premium account pretty comfortably. But that also means playing every day, so. Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to mention before I exit here, and I don't think I'm actually going to play another game, because I want to do Tier 10 to finally specialize some of this stuff, like the F7U I still haven't done, any 22,000 for... I really want to specialize this thing for the range, because I think that would be hilarious, but... man. Or just have more credits in general to calibrate stuff. I could play this, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so one last thing I was going to mention is that what has been taking up a lot of my time is Genshin Impact, and I have stated in a previous CannonChat that I will not be covering any Genshin Impact content until they considerably fix their... what do you call it? Security, yeah. Until they fix their security, so it isn't such a big deal whether or not you show your user ID. I kind of find it ridiculous that you can potentially get hacked by people just knowing your user ID, and your user ID is literally straight there on the screen at all times while you're playing the game. So if it's such a security issue, why is it plastered on the screen at all times? So in order to not have any worry about that, is you have to go out of your way to use something to hide the really bottom right hand corner of the screen in order to not show your user ID to people who may or may not hack you. And now granted, I have been mostly free to play in the game, so I don't exactly have, like, I think I only have 4 5 stars, maybe 5 stars, like 3 of the standard ones and 2 banner specific ones. So it's not like I have like a really wide variety of high rarity characters, but at the same time though, like I've said before, if I got hacked once and I didn't get my account back, I would literally just quit Genshin to begin with. Even though I do like the gameplay isn't... if I didn't have investment already, and if it wasn't for the potential of newer characters, I probably wouldn't even bother. Like, and probably just stick with Sword Art Online Alicization Licorice, since that has a very... It's hard to say similar gameplay, but they have similar gameplay ideas to them, with how you control your characters and your party around. It's just that the Alicization Licorice is more focused on your sword skills and like doing certain things in conjunction with other characters, whereas Genshin is that you control one character at a time, but at the same time you have 4 characters as options at all times. Well, unless you don't fill in all the party slots, I guess, then you can have less than 4 if you really want. But yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. So they have improved the security for Genshin, but not to the point where I'm confident in showing Genshin gameplay. And also, even if I did show Genshin gameplay, it would probably be me doing like the daily stuff that I've been doing all the time. And I've really come to realize that most of Genshin is doing chores, like for the battle pass stuff, you know, collecting 100 unique flowers or whatever from Mondstadt, or collect 100 unique things from Leeway. So yeah, that's sort of stuff that you should be doing anyway, like just to have that available for when a character needs it, but at the same time being forced to, if you want stuff, is kind of irritating. And then also, like, oh, we'll do 15 domains, do 20 ley lines, do 10 bosses. Like, yeah, you have a little bit of freedom on what you can choose on that, I guess, but at the same time, though, what if you just want to do domains? Like, what if you want to farm artifacts, or do the talent materials domains throughout an entire week? Well, with maybe doing the weekly bosses, because you can't really skip those realistically because of how important those are later on. So a lot of stuff is just kind of tedious, in hopes that you get a certain character that you really love to play around with in combat, or has a personality that you really like. So if I was showing Genshin gameplay, it would probably be just like stuff like that, like just the daily stuff, because I mean, I don't really do anything other than that unless there's like something very specific that I'm doing, or there's an event going on. There is an event right now that gives a lot of premium currency that is just kind of like do like this chore with for someone. So it's like you have your daily stuff that is kind of chores, which I don't actually mind that too much. It's mainly like the weekly battle pass stuff that over time it's just kind of like, well, what if I want to do something else? But that just kind of adds on to it. They do have a different game mode of like tower defense, which is kind of nice, and it's not extremely difficult. I found it to be quite learnable in order to defeat the enemies before they get to the end of the map. Of course, that's what tower defense is. But overall, I didn't really enjoy it nearly as much, because if something goes wrong in that game mode, it's really hard to do anything about it, because you can only create towers where your character is. So if something super fast gets through, they're probably just as fast as you, if not faster, so you can't like teleport somewhere in order to just place down a mine. So Arcanites is definitely significantly more enjoyable for that. And on a side note, I was actually thinking about showing like contingency contract stuff for Arcanites, but at the same time though, they have been honestly really easy, and mainly because I have a lot more characters actually upgraded now in the Elite 2. So I have a lot more options available to me compared to last time. So I haven't been really been needing a guide or anything to really do those. Like only very specific maps that I have the least amount of characters to deal with that specific layout that I really need to worry about. So that's something. So I don't know how enjoyable those would even be. So with all that wrapped up, I know that I only played 2 battles, but this tier 7 bomber is pretty much like the only mid-tier aircraft that I actually care to play. Like the Key 102, honestly, I don't really care about it, and that's mostly because the Key 93 I think I would enjoy more than the Key 102, ironically, but there's just nothing after it. So I'm not really in a rush to do anything like that. I did kind of have like some internal thoughts that maybe they could add the Japanese ME-262 at tier 8 and then make hypothetical upgrades to that and make it so that the tier 8 has 2 of these guns, so 600 DPS. The tier 9 has 4 of them, so the same as the J7W3, and then the tier 10 having 6 of them to have 1800, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but at the same time though, they have really low range, they have low shell velocity, they have somewhat low rate of fire, and also them probably having slightly more maneuverability than everyone else, but having much lower airspeed. So it's kind of like basically the Key 102 but at tier 10, but with probably more weaknesses to it, because the Key 102, especially if you specialize it, you can basically like increase the boost speed quite a bit. So I mean, it's slow, but it's not like, you can make it decent at the very least. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I might have even mentioned that before, I'm not sure. Sounds vaguely familiar. But yeah, I don't think I'm really gonna be doing anything in World of Warplanes for a little bit. Too many players still playing. As bad as that sounds, that's just kind of how I'm thinking right now. And these unique captains or commanders, or pilots, I guess, is more accurate. They're kind of nice, but they have their unique skill doesn't really help me too much. I was actually gonna put them like on the bomber, if I even got them in the first place, which I'm leaning towards not even bothering. He has a skill that makes it so you take less anti-aircraft damage, and I was going to make the Su-10 as a juggernaut of a aircraft, so focus on reducing damage from anti-air as well as other things, because I mean, in a bomber you can't really dodge flak very well anyway. So there's that, but the problem is that he has a different skill. He has like a 2 or 3 point skill that you can't unspec out of, and it's only for one specific aircraft. So that's kind of annoying, but at least on bombers, you don't really need a lot of these skills. Like, you just need like the engine gyro skills and the aerodynamics expert and demolition expert, and then you're pretty much done. You don't really need anything else. Unless you want cruise flight as well, I guess. Resilience, I guess, would be okay, but it's not really necessary. And evasive target, I don't know if you can even proc that in a bomber. So that's kind of my thoughts. So overall, Alien Isolation for sure. Hopefully Monday. I should have done this video way earlier and maybe started that earlier. I just have been lazy. I don't think there's really any way around that. I've been lazy. And been doing stuff in Genshin and stuff that's been keeping me busy enough. I mean, I haven't even really played Path of Exile for at least a month, so whoops. Since I made that Harvest video, I don't think I've really played Path of Exile, so oops. But with that, hopefully all of you had a good Valentine's Day and been giving special treatment to your significant others and possibly family members as well. Valentine's Day, well, it is mostly a romantic holiday. I do think that it does have some some parts of it is loving onto family and friends as well. So hopefully you've had a good day with that. Maybe buy some roses or something if they weren't too expensive for you. But with that, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this clears up what I've been doing, and hopefully I can get back at it, and hopefully it won't be too bad. So thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.